my God. Sale. Everybody, anyway, hi. So this is hilarious. So I caught part of the end of Reams Live. I went to a service today, which is why I'm dressed up. And I was like, I'm wearing my favorite vest. And like this, I got this thing. I love this earring, by the way. And then on the other side, I got just this one. Anyway, I was like, I want to be seen today. I got to wear earrings. I want you to see me. So thank you. Maybe this is a side effect of my Chiron and Leo healing. I don't know if I've ever necessarily been like, I feel good today and I want to be seen. So, like, that's what I told Russell. I was like, I don't know. I got to wear earrings today. I'm wearing like clothes, and I want to be seen. Thank you, Amy. Hey, Reem Reem, Miss Reemy Healing. Aw, you're so kind. Reem said, I said, I know, right? Anyway, so I think this is super, super, super interesting. So I caught like the end of Miss Remy Healings' live. Thanks. I need to do something about this. I don't know why it just sticks out. I wanted to get my hair done, but it didn't happen. But anyway, I caught the end of it. And even before I watched it, because she told me yesterday, last night, I think, that, hey, EP, that the Seven of Cups was presenting itself as like something hatching. And as soon as she said that, I thought of the Gentle Gardener and the Enchanted Map Oracle. And because I'm feeling good and a little bit more presentable today, I also took the liberty to go ahead and set up my second camera so you can see the cards. It's a time to put in a little bit of effort. And it's interesting. I went to I think they called it a commemoration of life. I know celebration of life is a thing, homegoing services. And I walked out of it. It's so crazy because it's like some mystery crime TV show drama, like Law and Order type of thing where you think like it'll never happen to somebody that you know, or you or someone in your hometown or somebody that you grew up with. And then it does. But I walked away from the service like feeling so inspired to pursue a lot of things. Like there were dreams that I had before that because of my eyes and my academic track record, I gave up on them. I was like, you know what? I was like, I was gonna get my master's and my PhD, but then I took like 9, well, at the time it was like 6 or 7 or 8 years to get my undergrad degree. And it's something that I've been thinking about more here lately. And I caught up with my journey buddy yesterday. Thank you, Skywalktress. I caught up with my journey buddy yesterday, and I kind of sort of, I don't know if I talked about it with her or not. Yeah, I did. Just about like, I guess the direction that I want my life to go in the future. And the future for me has always been the future for me until 2019. And I was born in 1993. It was always something that was dark that I didn't want. But now I find myself in a space of like, just like, what do I want to, like, what do I want my future to be like? And what am I going to do now to get me closer to that? Like, it's like, where do I want my destination to be and what path do I want to take, right? You graduated high school in 1993. My mom graduated high school in 1990. Then she had me 3 years later. Um, and I was actually thinking about going back and getting my master's. I was also thinking about like branching out, like going to talk to other people, initiating I'm good at, or one of the things that my experience has shown to me that I'm good at is networking. Um, and just like connecting to people. And so I was already thinking of like going on speaking with engineering. I can feel my passion kind of sort of evolving. I can feel my passion evolving to incorporate aspects of the work that I'm doing now or to address concerns generated or relevant to salient to the work that I do now. And if it's like if I never did the work that I did now, I never would have had this interest because like the job that I'm doing and the company and the industry that I'm working in, it's like it's something that I never would have even considered. Never considered it. And with other things in my life, it's like divine timing is real because I feel like a few months ago, like of what the last basically since what let's say for the past year. That's for the past year or so. I've been like really flexible with what I want to do. And then I got this opportunity and now this opportunity it's opening me up to things that I want to explore more. And so it's like there are other opportunities that now like I would have been a lot more open to then that now it's like, well, what do I want from my life? And it's almost like if I would have been presented everything before, I would have never had that. I wouldn't have even really have had the thought to ask myself, like, what do I want from my life? What do I want my experience to be? And how do I want to go about experiencing it? Not to say anything, honestly. It's just to say that a path opened up that I want to explore more now. And I want to see where it goes and I want to see what I can incorporate from this path into others. Um, and again, it's like had it opened before or presented itself before, I think I would have more fully just thrown myself into it. Which again, I feel like if that's the way that it would have transpired, then that would have been the way that it was meant to transpire. Um, yeah, Rain. That's literally why I brought it up. That's literally why I brought it up. But then I went on a whole tangent because I was like, so when you were doing that, when you were talking about things hatching cups, it reminded me of the Field of Dreams card and the Gentle Gardener. And so that's why I pulled the Enchanted Map Oracle. But then, like, as I took the thumbnail and clicked go live, I looked back down and I saw the key and I was like, oh my gosh, that's hilarious. I was like, that's hilarious. So, yeah, there's the key and this lock here, the lock and the key. And it looks like the key was on a rope, but the rope's been cut. So insert some kind of hanged man-y type of energy. Um, but yeah, things are working out in beautiful and splendid and gorgeous and unexpected ways. And yeah, after coming back from that, it's like, and it's something I've been thinking about for a minute now. So, anyway, life is a mini splendored thing. So, I don't have my glasses on. I didn't wear my glasses today. No problem. Oh, there is a part of me that almost feels like I'm keeping a secret. And there's a part of me that's like, so. And then there's another part of me that's like, well, maybe it's meant to be shared. Like, it wouldn't feel like a secret if I were sharing it. And it's not like anything malicious or anything. I just feel like in some ways I've been led or guided to do more or be more, but not in any, probably not in an externally recognizable way. It's not like the things that I do are necessarily different or whatever, but also at the same time they are. And I don't know if it's an intention or a focus or what, but I don't know. And if you ask me what it is, I don't even know if I'd be able to tell you besides I, which if you know, you know. Even if you don't know, you know, but if you don't know that you know, then you don't know because you think you don't know when you do know. You know what I mean? Anyway, um, life has just been so unexpected, not unexpectedly. And I was just, like I said, I was talking with my journey buddy yesterday, and it's so crazy because it was what, like 2 months ago, maybe now. I was talking to Reem, and I think it was after she did the mirror. Oh, was it after? It was after the mirror portal reading. Maybe it was like a "What do you need to sacrifice" collective reading or something like that. And I was talking to my yesterday, and it's crazy. She was like, all of the things that you used to talk about wanting to do or being able to do, she was like, you're doing it now. And I was like, oh, snap. But then she's also in the same position. Like the woman that her future self is, and the woman that she wanted to be, like that version of herself, like she's become it too. And I didn't like in the space of that conversation, I was like, I'm gonna sit because she was like, I'm gonna sit in celebration and appreciation of that, and I think you should do the same. And I was like, oh my gosh, don't make me cry. Speaking of, like I ended up I watched Rob's live, the collective messages with the collective. And like it was beautiful at the end, and Rob almost cried, and I was like, yes, Scorpio tears. Because I'm a weirdo. But it was also like not assuring, but I guess it goes back to that energy of like we never really know how much the power of our presence impacts people. Um, and it's already been like a super emotional day, and I feel like I could cry. I cried earlier, like some of the stuff, like there was a spoken word poem that was so beautiful, and again, it's just like it was somebody that like he's younger than me. I went to school with him in like elementary because in elementary school there's like a 5 grade difference. So when I was a senior in high school, he was probably a freshman. Yeah, he would have been a freshman when I was a senior in high school. I never really talked to him. And what's funny is like I feel like I got closer to his younger sister than I did to him. And she was in kindergarten when I was in the 5th grade and he was in the 1st grade. So but anyway, I don't know. Anyway. Hello, Steph. I was just talking about how I watched Rob's live. So yeah. But anyway, so like I was talking to Reem maybe like 2 months ago, and I feel like Reem, you told me that I should write stuff down. So I took my pointing pen and I uncapped it and I wrote with it. And then I guess I had the thought recently, but like the stuff that I wrote down, like it was almost immediately set into motion. And it's just like, first of all, it's like it's crazy, but it isn't, but it is. That like this is actually my experience. And again, like if I think of where I am now from where I used to be, girl. Um, but then it does also like it's like, okay, well, what next? Like what now? Where do we take this? how do we take it further? I'm just like, I don't know. So long story short, I don't know. Let's see. Ooh. Look at the bottom of the deck. Commitment. And you see that? You see the key? You see that little key? What does it say though? I don't think it says anything. Now I'm gonna be seeing keys. Thanks, Reem. There's a key, and it looks like the lock is actually the silhouette of a person. And this is so funny. This is a 36.9. It's funny because it reminds me of the starfish that came out yesterday. And it's like it's unlocking you. I'm just gonna start seeing all the keys. And it's really funny because I wanted to wear my key necklace today, but I didn't. I was gonna wear my key necklace with the little pink earrings that they came with, but I didn't have time to look for that. And I saw this earring, and I was like, I don't know where the other earring like this is. So I was like, I'll grab this one. And like this one will be in my ear with this one being like these top two. And it means something that I don't know what it means. But without showing y'all all of my mess. It should be like right here. I wanted to wear it earlier, but I didn't. But now I have to. If it even shows up. I feel like I hear Russell saying Jifu. I heard Russell say Jifu earlier. When he was like, I don't know how the G's are pronounced. I think it depends on the area and the time. And he was like, it could be Gifu or Jifu or Yifu. And then he was like, Jifu. Jifu. And I feel like I've been hearing Russ say Jifu. Oh, and I had to pick up the runes to get this, so. There you go. Can you see that? Hold it. You see that? I'm putting it on. I wanted to wear it earlier. All right. Anyway. What y'all talking about? Thank you. Oh, snap. Amy? Amy's like, I got the key. Is there another card? I'll try. And I'll work tomorrow. My mom was like, what a weekend you had. You spend yesterday I spent like literally from 10 o'clock to like 4:30 with my grandma. Most of the time in grocery stores. And then today I went to a funeral service from 10 o'clock to like 3:30. So but it's time well spent. Is there anything else or is this it? I'll give it two more. It's funny because Talisman is at the bottom of the deck again. Talisman was behind Commitment. The card that came out is number 35, which is Education. 36, 35. That's a 9 into an 8. 49 is a 13, which is a 4. Excuse me, but that's a 13 energy. It feels like this. I don't know what this talisman is, though. This almost reminds me of the first. I don't know what this talisman is. I don't know. Maybe the number 13 itself is a talisman. What is a talisman? Because I don't. Thank you, Shayna. Oh my gosh. I don't. If I think of what a talisman is, it's like usually some kind of magical artifact. It's funny because, like, all week, besides yesterday and today, um, it's been stuck in my head, Diablo 3 with the scoundrel when he pretends to be in love with this woman to, because there's some powerful artifact that she's come upon. And then he was like, "This isn't over. The rest of the Thieves Guild will find you." And then she's like, "Thank you, my love." And he's like, "Okay, yeah, 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 sure, whatever." And then he's like, "This relic is a fake." Like that, this relic is a fake has been in my mind like all week. Like I'll be working, I'll be under the hood, and then I'll be like, "This relic is a fake." And sometimes I'll say it. And it's just like, okay. And so it's interesting that talisman is here. I think talisman can also be something that is it can be something that like invokes something, right? Like if you inscribe something on a talisman of like protection or warding or good fortune or whatever, then the talisman brings it to you. But that's like a paper talisman. I feel like talisman energy is also I had it but I lost it. An object or a thing that is said to be magical or bring good luck. It's usually passed down from family or gifted to you, or you make it. Many of those are in the Shinto religion. Yeah. And like at the base of her right foot is the like yin yang. I can't see if it has the other things around it. Yeah, it does. It has the elements around it. That's not the bagua. Is it the bagua? I don't know. Or the batsi. No, batsi is something else. So like on her right foot, you see the yin and yang with the elements around it. That one might be. I don't think that's lightning. I can't remember which one that is. On her left foot, it's a rune with Jira on it. Jira or Gadarang. Gadarang. Hanging from her left hand, I guess, or her right hand. I don't know. And then the spirit, like, it looks like she has a sleeve, like a fishnet sleeve, but it becomes this creature. Like there's so many, and then there's the what's that? The Triskelion or the Triskel on her back. There's something tattooed on her. Maybe it is this relic is a fake energy. Because look at all these talismans that she has. It's like, well, girl, why you need so many? It's not that it's necessarily a fake. Russell, Wassail, Wassail, friend. I use the runes. Why not? I had a dream about a baby last night and an even smaller baby. And the stork is here. Or, yeah. Or what is this, a heron or whatever this is, it's giving me stork energy today. It's an energy where it's like she's going to become pregnant with knowledge or something like that. Maybe the relic isn't a fake. Maybe this is an energy of many paths with all of these different talismans. Because there's something about the sparkles around the blue orb. I don't know if you can see them. And the light coming out of the book. That could also be like Akashic in nature. Oh, that's number 12. So 12, 13, slow and steady, and then 31, dry desert. Slow and steady on one side, talisman on the other. That aquamarine color. I was thinking aquamarine because Russ mentioned it. I was actually thinking it when I was looking at the cover of the box with the key. What did Russ say? Aquamarine ray of divine creation? Question mark. I was in line at McDonald's when we was doing Pisces. Her take her take her take. This reminds me of Shugokara. It's an anime. It's a shoujo, and they try to get like it's some kind of egg that they try to get. I forget what it's called. And the company is Easter. And I guess speaking of me, like deciding what or coming into a space of really thinking about my future in a different way. Um, it's with children and some evil company and dreams. The eggs are dreams, and it's like who that child wants to become. And it's like everyone has one egg that is like, and then they become that, and they say like Boku no Kokoro unlock, right? My heart unlock, and then there's like a lock on the heart, and then it unlocks the lock on the heart, and they become they dream to be. And then there's the main character, Hugo Kara, and there's like 3 seasons. I didn't finish it. I'm in the third season though, I think. And there's a character who doesn't know what she wants to be. So she has multiple eggs. Like there are multiple paths that she can take. But this it's reminding me of that. And then there's a lock and a key. And there's one character with a lock and another character with a key. And then there's a company. And it's like make whenever they take the dreams from kids, their eggs turn black and they become like X eggs. And it's like when you purify a large amount of X eggs, that's when the magical egg shows up, and that's the one that they're trying to get. I don't remember fully why, but that energy is here. I don't know if this energy is necessarily helpful. I don't think this one is. And I think one of the giveaways to that is because it's a step back from commitment. Talisman is an interesting energy that I can't. It doesn't Gaia used it to create life. The paradise ray. Oh, okay. What was that? Oh, it's 7 o'clock. That's the notification that I get at 7 o'clock every day. And then there's a notification at 10:31 I get every day that says like I love you not only for who I am when I am with you. Well, Reem had the keys, and Reem gave them to her dad. So Reem's the one giving out keys, apparently. And I went back to watch the Taurus. I was like, oof, am I gonna get triggered? I'm just playing. I don't know. See, it feels like talisman energy sides more on the side of education than commitment. Okay. So with the talisman being 13, talisman, it's an energy of like the age of Aquarius. It's this energy of things that we create to hold some kind of meaning of paradise, basically. It's like what a lot of us are, a lot of what you hear the age of Aquarius to be. It's like, in the age of Aquarius, it's going to be enlightened this and it's going to be earth, like the new world or new earth or whatever. It becomes a talismanic energy, but it's almost like in the forging of a talisman, there's almost like there's an energy that you have to put into it in order for it to carry that energy. And it's almost like we get the thing or we create the thing without the investment. And so it doesn't actually have any power. Commitment is the energy, or commitment is the space of putting the energy into the talisman so that the talisman does something. It's like charging it. You know what I mean? Rather than it just being like, go get you a crystal and the crystal will do everything for you. Or, say this or do that or whatever. You know what I mean? And that's the thing about education. It's like you can look something up or somebody can tell you, oh, this will do that for you. But it's like this lady, like she's got all these different talismans and she's not going anywhere. And it's almost like the reason why she isn't going anywhere is because she's like, well, if I take my right foot off of this one and I take my left foot off of that one, and if I don't hold on to this, then blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, if you keep your right foot on this and your left foot on that, how are you going to move forward? I don't know. So talisman energy can go either way, like a lot of things. And it's not that they don't have functionality, right? But it's almost like you can get more out of it some way. I actually want to use the Wild Unknown Tarot because this reminds me of the Star card and the Wild Unknown. And the first, like when I first got the Wild Unknown with the star, it looked like, excuse me, the star rests on a bed of light in the darkness. Like at the bottom of the ocean, you find the star and you're like, what? Cosmic healing balance. Ice rune frequency. Let go and live. Or ETH. Oh, okay. Anyone want to join this? Oh gosh, I just saw Ofer Lagu. Offerlagu, Feo, and Brahm. Brahm is interesting. I was talking about Brahm with Russell recently. The Butcher's Broom. Why? I don't remember. Why were we talking about the Butcher's Room? Brahm. So 62, 1, and 56. 56 is an 11. 1 is a 1. 62 is another 8. I was numerology, but you felt like whatever the book said might hit a point with you. But you probably can't find it because you're meant to feel it out on your own. Otter spirit. Mm. Well, it feels like the Offerlagu is what's going to start clearing up or clearing out some of this stuck energy. And Feo is interesting because it feels like it's what we think will bring us abundance, but it doesn't. And I'm almost seeing it like there's a 12th here. But the bottom part of the 12th stays. The top part takes on the characteristic of Feo. On the side of commitment is Leaf to become 47, which is another 11. So we have 47 and 50 at the ends of this. So again, it's a many path synergy. One isn't necessarily more correct or better than the other. What's it called? Honor? What? Spoilers! Spoilers! I'm kidding. But you sent me that thing. You sent me a video. Not a video. A voice recording. And I heard a female voice narrating. I was like, "Are you listening to Tahanu? I haven't gotten to Tahanu. This is spoilers. Even though I can't hear anything she's saying, I hear a female voice. Spoilers." I'm just playing. I really wish I knew. You know what? I'm gonna search for it. I wasn't gonna do it, but I am gonna do it. I wasn't gonna, but I gotta know. Excuse me. Brahm. Oop, Brahm. Oh, Lady Macbeth. That's who it was. It was about Lady Macbeth. You were. It was Ursula. Oh, that was Ursula. Oh, it's not. Okay, never mind. See, that's a good thing I didn't say spoilers because it wasn't. Out, out. Brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow, and I can't get this spot off of my hands. Ace of Cups and Death. Or not. Yep, it was that. That's what. And then you said Butcher's Broom. There is something about education, though. Like, this education feels like it's learning from these spirits. And then it's like, well, if you learn from the spirit, you don't need the talisman. Maybe there's a dependence that we hold on talismans. There's an energy where it's like we become dependent upon the thing to get the frequency. And it's almost like because we become dependent on the thing to reach the frequency, it inhibits our ability to naturally find the frequency or to hold the frequency without the thing. But there is also an energy of introductions here, I guess. Leaf is to become. Again, the key unlocks the self. And look, temperance is at the bottom of the deck. And death is behind temperance. 1413, we take a step back again. And there is with this Brahm energy, the tears of the heron are like putting out the fire. So there is an energy of clearing here. So then it's the energy of like learning from history so that we don't repeat the same mistakes in a way. Wow, Russell. Like Shayna's lost book. I would never call somebody out like that so directly. I'm kidding. But this is also I probably don't need to go live as often as I do. Because it feels like like every time I go live here now, it's like the same energy. But I think it's because of the nature of the space that we're coming into. I think there's also something here where it's like it's time for us to reapproach how we think about alchemy. Well, what about commitment? I could do that Patrick thing I do. I think I'm gonna do that Patrick thing I do, where I go look and see what's before and after the star. I'll give it a few shuffles first, though. Okay. Ooh, it's interesting that the Father of Swords comes out because the dream that I had about all those Kings of Swords. Father of Swords with the Mother of Wands. I feel like I've seen these two together before. Like Swords had went for the Mother of Wands, and then the Mother of Swords was with the Son of Wands. Or was the Father of Swords with somebody else? I don't know. I remember I caught like you were like, let's do that thing that Patrick does when he goes looking for the card. I just want to say first and foremost that I don't appreciate how y'all come for me. Rob is like, I'm gonna pull a Patrick and walk away from my own stream, and Russ is like, I'm gonna pull a Patrick and check my phone in the middle of this video. And I was like, wow, Patrick really does do that though, doesn't he? Only Patrick can be Patrick. I'm just the Six of Swords and the Six of Pentacles together. That's interesting. With the Lovers, that's a 666. The Lovers, the Six of Swords, and the Six of Pentacles under this Mother of Wands. This feels significant as well. So I'm going to put that here. Oh, that's 7 on there. Oh, well, that was quick. And look, it's another 6. Of course it's another 6. Why wouldn't it be? So Judgment and the Six of Cups with the Mother of Pentacles here. Mother of Wands was behind the Father of Swords. And the Sun. This goes over here. The closest we can get to the 36 without going over is 26. So we come up 10 short. There's something about the X. Jifu. That's why. Jifu. I was folding laundry and I heard Russell say Jifu. Jifu. And I was like, Jifu, it's the X. Like the X could be 10. And then I thought about the Page of Wands into the Knight of Wands and the in-between tarot, how she's graduating and she's throwing her cap up. And on the cap, it's a 10. Or it can be like the Two of Wands, right? With the wands intersecting. If we do the 10, 20 and 17 is 37, which is one more, actually. So that would be a progression. So a progression of this energy is incorporating judgment. But the closest we can get to this without going over is incorporating the Six of Cups into that judgment. And so this becomes an energy of returning to self with commitment. Because that's what the Six of Cups feels like. Right? It's National Pull Patrick Day. Okay. To make this exact, this would have to be 30. 30 is, I want to pull a different deck. And I want it to be small because I don't have a lot of room. 30 is 12. It's the second 3, which is the Hanged Man. So I'm going to pull before and after the Hanged Man as the deck is. It's interesting because the King of Swords is at the top of this deck with the Queen of Cups. But this King of Swords came out with the Queen of Wands. Justice at the bottom of the deck with the Ace of Cups and the Six of... Whoops. I think, who was that? Death. So first I'm going to look for the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is going to bring this to 36. That's why I'm looking. And apparently I'm going to flip through the entire deck to do it. Hello? Excuse me? Oh my god! Oh my gosh! Don't scare me like that. I was like, is my Hangman missing? The only thing that came out next to the Hangman is the Ten of Cups. Six of Cups, Ten of Cups. So these cards got water damaged. And I accidentally wiped off the end of the rainbow, which I love because with the end of the rainbow not yet being painted, all 10 cups are here perfectly fine. But this feels like the space where we get to color it in ourselves, right? So now to bring the star to 36, I would need 19, right? 17 plus 19 is 36. So I'm going to flip back through, not shuffling. King of Wands at the bottom now, with the 3 and the 2 of Wands into the 7 and that 6 of Pentacles, which is here. Okay. And then the 6 back into the 5, which is that step back energy again. Like 36, 35, 14 to 13, 6 to 5. Okay. So the sun is going to bring the star to completion, and it's right here. The 5 of Cups and the Magician. And I guess I'll see what brings Judgment to completion. Bringing Judgment to completion, that's 20. This is 36, so we need 16. 16 is the Tower. I love the Tower in this deck because the Tower in this deck, to me, it carries an energy of things that cannot be stolen, things that cannot be taken, but they can be hidden. Or it's almost like we can be made to believe that they have been, but in reality they haven't been because, oh, look, there's the Queen of Wands. So I'll leave you on the table because apparently you want to be here with the 10 of Wands and the Knight of Cups. So it's like the 4 of Wands and the 7 of Swords. And I love that this is coming out to complete Judgment because it's a choice. What are all these cards? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, he's like, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, girl. You're like, I'm hungry. I'm hungry, girl. If you don't get up and get a snack, go get you some pancakes. That's what I did. I was like, hold up, my mom made pancakes. BRB. What gray Pringle tank top are you talking about? I'm confused. Wait. Oh, because of the can on the Pringles man. Okay. I was like, what? I'm so confused. Thank you. This is a lot of cards I just put on here. Why is the whole deck right here? The Mother of Pentacles is at the bottom of the deck? She was already there. Okay. Let's move this. That's my Riemann Bun Buns card. Does this side get no cards? I guess not. Maybe you can have some of these. Let's see. So the energy of Brahm, this is a cleaning and clearing energy. So the Father of Swords with the Queen of Wands, Ofalagu Feo. It's interesting. The Father of Swords with the Queen of Wands is giving Ofalagu and Feo an energy of connecting to something that's already within you, which again goes back to this, like we're unlocking more of ourselves energy here. But it's something within us that's protected. It's almost an energy of sacred beginnings, I guess. And then it's the Lovers, the Six of Swords, and the Six of Pentacles. It's an energy of making progressive choices and decisions and also putting in the action behind it. It's an energy of investing in one's own future. This is like one of the darkest Six of Swords cards that I've ever seen, I guess. Because it's like it's pouring down rain, but there's a rainbow over it. Choices and decisions that move us forward. This is a choice and decision to be. That's why the leaf is to be, right? To become. I guess discernment time. Yeah, especially if I go to the bathroom. If I go to the bathroom and come back, I got something. But I get something every time I go to the restroom. So leaf is to become, right? Yes, leaf is to become. That's what this energy is. And it feels like it's interesting because it feels like with the Mother of Wands being here, we already, it feels like it's something that we already hold or it's something that we already are. But there's a little bit of, it's not distortion. It feels situational in a sense. It feels like something that we, by all means, go, ha, pun intended. I see it. It feels situational. It's like when it's almost something that like the world, the universe, spirit has to pull out of us. Like it puts us in a situation that we may not necessarily like being in, and then we step into a Queen of Wands energy. But with the King of Swords, it's like it's knowing when to pull that out without it being within that situation. And then it's like drawing it out and that connects it somewhere else. That's how I'm seeing it. I don't know. It becomes a network, it becomes a web of we become the constellation. It's like if you've ever played a game with some kind of like talent level up system like Skyrim, right? With the different talents, they have the constellations, and as you progress, you like unlock more stars or whatever. Genshin Impact does the same. But with Genshin Impact, you have to get the same character in order to progress through that. So again, it's this energy of like returning to self multiple times or going deeper and deeper within oneself outside of the spaces where it is forced out of you. Because it's almost like when it's forced out of you, there's less decision. It's not a decision when it's forced because then it already has a purpose. And then it's like after it comes out of us, whatever we need to do is done and then it goes back. But it is this energy of like pulling multiple things, like that's the thing. And then we draw it to center, right? And then here's another thing, and it returns to center. And that's how it becomes this constellation charted around a single star of us. And the entire constellation is us. You get what I'm saying? And I think that's the Feo. It's an energy like where we thrive in certain situations because of like pressure, like people who thrive under pressure or people who thrive under the absence of pressure. But it's like it's about bringing those strengths and characteristics. It's like unlocking them so you can use them whenever. And when you can use them whenever, that's when we get to use different parts of ourselves in combination. It becomes an internal alchemy. And again, it feels like it's coming under the energy of talisman because the talisman is the physical, symbolic representation of the thing. But it's like it's only active when if the talisman is charged and when the talisman is like worn or under certain conditions. But it's like it's almost like taking the magic out of the talisman and just like embodying the magic. So you don't need the talisman anymore. You just like do it, right? But over here, the King of Swords came out with the Queen of Cups. King of Swords is the Sage of Zones. And the Sage of Zones energy is one that is so beyond me. Sage of Zones energy would probably be kind of 14. Maybe. I don't know where to place Sage of Zones. Because the Sage of Zones, it's an energy of one who has such an intricate understanding of the various complexities and intricacies that go into how things precipitate in the physical. And the Sage of Zones is the one who has such a deep knowing and understanding that it's like they get to define their own space. And it's almost like they can create anything that they want, but they don't create anything that they want out of thin air. They create anything that they want because they understand that which must precede everything. They understand that which must be written before it can be. And then with one, it's the teacher of souls. On the other, it's the teacher of essences. The intersection between the teacher of souls and the teacher of essences, it is being. The teacher of souls, well, I guess it's teaching being. Souls is like the soul. Essence is the embodiment of the soul, like being the soul in this incarnation. Like if you were a baker in a past life, but you've never baked a day in your life, you being in the space of essences would be you pulling on that past baker experience to be the baker in this life. Almost like, I mean, it goes back to education, right? Almost like if you could open the library, if you could open the books of your Akash and almost take pages out of certain books and bind them together into a new book, the book that you are now, which again goes back to that energy of like the constellation of self and all of these different things that we hold within us. But if they're locked behind, it's like a trigger. If they're locked behind a trigger, and it feels like it's trigger, like if you're playing a game and you do something that triggers a cutscene, or like before this can like break in case of emergency, but like it's trying to get it without the emergency. You know what I mean? But these are teachers. So this energy, and the teacher is one who, it feels more like a practical knowledge. The teacher is one with the practical knowledge. It's the Gemini. And the sage is the one with the studied knowledge, with the theoretical and hypothetical. That is the Sagittarius energy. And so I guess the initiate would be a Pisces energy, and the scholar would be a Virgo energy. Anyway, that's these two. And again, like that was the Six of Cups energy. It was that return to self. Yeah. But again, it's like it's to not. Anyway, I don't have to explain it. I feel like you got it. So, what came out next was this King of Wands energy with the Three of Wands and the Two of Wands, which is again that energy of a step back. But this energy, so the King of Wands is the Sage of Souls. We've already seen the Teacher of Souls, and then the Teacher of Souls is here again in this Queen of Wands. She was at the bottom. And then these two were after that, I think. Excuse me. There's almost an energy with the Three into the Two of Wands where we have to take a step back, the 3 into the 2, where we have to take a step back before we go forward. All of this is in the soul. So the 3 of Souls is the space where if you could take all of your light aspects, light experiences, whatever, right? And then if you could take all of your dark aspects and experiences, the 3 is the point where they first meet and they give birth to something new. It's almost the space of an inner child, but if the inner child had like no sense of morality, and not in a bad way, just in a way that a lot of children sort of do, right? It's like before you know right from wrong, you just kind of sort of like do whatever. And I feel like we would see it as a little Knight of Wandsy and like something that is like self-absorbed and like you only do what you want to do. You don't care how it affects other people. It's an energy of a curiosity though. And it feels like a curiosity that was lost. Almost because of a certain like status. It's like, well, I'm the king now. I have a title now. I have a position now. So I must conduct myself with, you know, in the manner befitting of a king. But with this being a King of Wands energy, I feel like the King of Wands doesn't necessarily care at the same time. You know what I mean? But maybe that's the thing here. The King of Wands, especially more so in his shadow, he can be really self absorbed like that. Very like inspirational, very like his passion ignites others. But it's almost like sometimes his ambition knows no bound. And so there is a step back here where it's like instead of advancing one's own personal goals, it is focusing a little bit more on what would move the collective forward. But the 3 of Wands energy doesn't go anywhere. Like the third wand is literally, it feels like the third wand is literally right there. We just don't recognize it as a wand because it's been disguised with this brown sack over the end of the wand, right? So maybe it isn't even necessarily that we have to change our path or direction. Maybe we just continue on the same path with a new, like with a grander vision, right? Maybe it is just to think a little bit more long term or to think of where we want to go so that we know sort of what we need to do to get there. The thing about all of this court card energy, all of these kings and queens, they're going to do what they need to do to get where they're going. They're going to do it in different ways, but they're all going to make the best choice and decision that they can to make sure they get where they're going. So I love that there's a feeling of like a proactiveness, I guess, here. The 7 though, feels like this is my minor strength card, especially in this deck. My pre-strength card is the Knight of Wands, and then strength is the major strength card for me. The 2, what's the 2 of Souls? Wait. So that was the 3. The 3 was the the interface. And there's been a lot of interfacial energy too, which takes me back to the High Priestess and the Scarab Beetle that's going from the dark to the light, kind of sort of back and forth. And the High Priestess sitting in the middle. I don't have the Dreams of Gaia deck, but there are a few cards in the Dreams of Gaia where it's like half dark and half light. And then there's the person in the middle. The 2 of Souls I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, I think yeah, really in that. I'm gonna be I want to order that deck. I think I'm gonna order that one and the shamanics. I almost did it the other day, but I was like, it arrived Sunday. Like that's so far. That was like Thursday night. I was like Sunday, and now today is Saturday night, and I would have had it tomorrow. The Two of Souls, it's hard to explain. But so from the Three of Souls to the Two of Souls, you got it and the Pocket Edition. Oh snap! What? I saw some Pocket Editions on Amazon. I was like, I kind of want one because I have a tiny space. Maybe I'll order some of those too. I'll treat myself. It feels like the Three of Souls is the energy of dark and light coming together. It feels like Two of Souls. It feels like the two is the moment where it splits, though. And so there is a decontextualization when we go back to the two. And then with the Seven of Wands, it's this energy, it's a reconfiguration of light and dark. That's what this is. But it feels very catalytic. So that'd be a three energy. And this is 12 wands. 12 is a three. And we got the hangman right there. It'll take you to the Ten of Cups. I don't know if it's seeing the darkness though. It feels like it is seeing the darkness, but it isn't because it hasn't yet been labeled as dark. So at this point, it's just other and it's new, if that makes any sense. It's like when you get to the three, that's when you see it as dark, even though the three holds the energy of them coming back together. But at the two, it's just like it's the like there's no context on it yet. It just is. And then also that's that childlike energy where we don't yet have an expectation to put on it. So we allow it to show us what it is rather than us looking for ways that it fits the preconception that we have of it, like in a sort of pre diagnostic way. And like the way I did the numbers is also, it's nothing is concrete or set in stone, which is how I liked it. It was intentional. I didn't want to like lock it down because I don't like that. Because even if I did lock it down, it would mean something different every time I came upon it, right? So it doesn't need to be defined. But this, it feels like an energy of like, it's like this, like putting them together in different ways. And it's trying to find the right configuration. This feels like, because then the Ten of Wands is here, which makes sense. So this is, see, I don't know how interconnectedness and oneness. That's how. And that's the element of water outside of the essence. This Ten of Wands holds all of this in it. All of this is in the Ten of Wands that we experience within ourselves. And after we experience it within ourselves, it unlocks it in the collective. And that's why the Knight of Cups is going out and it's offering it to any who would so desire it. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, right? And it's funny because I literally heard somebody say that Thursday. He's like, well, you can lead a horse to water. And we were talking about water. Anyway, all of this is held within the Ten of Wands. The Queen of Wands, again, with that mother, the teacher of souls energy, and it's in the suit of souls. That's why it isn't necessarily able to be communicated in a way. It's like if we were all a file, a single bit of information in a database. It's like when you change it in one, that change is reflected in the entire database. And so it isn't even necessarily something that needs to be done or said. I'm sure, like, for some, it would help, right? But it's like it ripples out. And then there's the Six of Pentacles into the Five of Pentacles. Yeah. It feels like it's almost ash in nature. The energy goes where it's needed or where it can be used. This has been so long. I don't even want to go over here. How long have I been live? It's been. I need to end this. Wrap this up soon. I don't want to rush it. I don't want to rush it. But at the same time, it's like. So I feel like this I talked about when it came out. Ish. This I talked about when it came out. This I didn't. The Magician and the Five of Cups on top of Judgment. No, this is 19, so it's on top of the Star. The Magician and the Magician and the Five of Cups being the thing that takes star energy to commitment. I don't want to rest it, right? I don't want to pull a wrestle. I'm just playing. If I wanted to pull a wrestle, what would I do? What is pulling a wrestle? What is wrestling? Toning? No, I feel I feel like the cheap Russ answer is toning and sounding. I don't want to go for low hanging fruit. You know what I mean? I want to go for like high class wrestling, like top tier. Like you gotta watch to know. You know what I mean? I'm kidding. One of the things that I could do to make this a little more wrestle is to not say that I don't know. That's for gosh darn sure. I feel like wrestling would also be to look at some kind of conjunction somewhere to relate this to the music of the spheres. Does Saturn go direct tomorrow? Saturn turns direct tomorrow. Yeah, okay. These are all personal transits. Mercury conjuncts Mars today. Mercury is conjuncting Mars right now. And the Sun conjuncted Mercury. Yeah, they were all 13 degrees when the. Right? Hello? I don't know. 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 Honestly, if I were going to wrestle this, I'd have to actually do like research. You know what I mean? Even though Russell can, like go off the cuff or just be like, let's just see. I'm trying to like rust this. How do I rust this? I feel like if I already put runes on it. Let me see. Let me get into my rust. Oh gosh. Oof. Oh, now I feel weird. I was like, let me get into rust mode, but now I feel like fluttery and tingly on the inside. I'm like, oh gosh, what is this? What is this? You've just done your research. Hey, like you finished it? See, I told, like I said, like the toning was the low. That's like low hanging fruit. You know what I mean? Like the singing, like that's too easy. So anyway, Mesopotamia has just popped into my head. What's the Patrick song? If you like it, then you should have put a rune on it. If you like it, then you should have put a rune on it. He talks a lot about sweating. Well, I don't know if he's going to be sweating as much anymore. Hopefully not. Goodness. It's been like a year of sweating or something like that. I'm like, goodness. Yep, not anymore. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I do have the. Nah. I'll go for it. Why not? I haven't really used these in a minute. I wanted to use these the other day. Idrisil, the personal Idrisil, and the grove of Idrisils. The U inside of the U. It's almost like the Idrisil is made up of Idrisils. And that's the grove of Idrisils. Like there are Idrisils inside of Idrisils. And it's a very fractaled energy. But not. Because it isn't always a true one-to-one representation. And typically a fractal, although it may appear in different portions or proportions, it still holds so much of the original. But I don't know. I'm also not trying to have a headache, so you know. I have a bowl. I have a bowl. I'm gonna okay, Russell, this is what I'm gonna do. I am going to ask for your participation and I'm going to grab my bell, my bowl. I'm gonna ring it 3 times, and I want you to tell me what you hear from these. Okay? If you would be so kind. You ready? Oh gosh. The second one was so quiet that it made the third one feel extra shrill, if that makes any sense. Yeah, no, I was like, oh, ow, that hurt. Rude. It feels like an energy of a pulsation, though. Not burgeoning, but like a throbbing. It feels It's like it's pulsating. Okay, so it was like a ball in a pinball machine that didn't know its direction, but was testing pathways. Is there any more that you're going to add to that, or does that conclude the participatory segment of this? Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Because it was feeling like with the magician and the five of cups, it's an energy. Because the second one was quieter. So, like, the first one was loud, the second one was quiet, and then the third one was comparatively louder or relatively louder than the second one. And so it feels like a metal detector type of energy, or like a dowsing energy. Like, the closer you get, the louder it gets. And so, if it gets quieter, then you're getting further away from it. And so, that for me, oh, okay. That for me is, it's like that energy of testing pathways. And when you find it, it has a louder resonance or a louder frequency. It's like playing hot or cold. That's what this energy is. But at the same time it's doing that, it's creating. And that's what makes this interesting, or that's what makes this challenging, because it's almost doing the sounding. And so now it's this energy of like, let me know where it hurts, right? Like, does it hurt when I press here? Does it hurt when I press here? And when you go, ow, they know they found it, right? And it's interesting that it's like a ball in a pinball machine, because the point of pinball is to not go home, basically. Like, the better you are at pinball, the longer you spend on the board. But a lot of our philosophy is about returning home. So it's like, with the philosophy that we hold, it's like, to win pinball, you wouldn't do anything. Because if you don't do anything, the ball just goes straight to the bottom. It was darting between the very first three cards. These three: commitment, talisman, and education. I don't want to pull you away from everything that you're doing. So thank you. I appreciate your participation. Okay. I can see that. Oh, you're done now? Oh, that was quick. Oh my gosh. No. No. Moosepil. Muspel came out. The Lord of Muspelhammer, King of the Fire Giants, the very Ragnarok himself. Oh gosh. But the bottom of the deck is Amrun. Amrun. And Amrun is interesting because it's the known unknown. And Amrun is in Svartalfheimr. Svartalfheimr is the land of the Dark Elves, I believe. And I think she's the queen. I think she's the queen of. And she talks about the moon runes. Oh my gosh, look, she's pulling cards. Oh my gosh, I'm pulling cards. So, I mean, if Oprah Legoo is here, is this like a Amrun mantle that we're unlocking? Question mark. Okay. Forsetti, fairness and judgment. Okay. The Firekeeper was missing from Ream's reading. It's a horse, looks like. Some kind of horse. But that's not Slipnir, is it? Is this Slipnir? Child of Loki, eight-legged horse? I thought Slipnir was Odin's mount. Odin did Loki kids dirty. It's like, bruh. Muspel. Muspel is the personification of Muspelhammer. The horse king. It is Slipnir? I only saw the tail end of that reading, so I have no clue. I have no clue what y'all's talking about. Muspel is the personification of Muspelhammer. He has many sons and followers, the most important one of them being Surt. Muspel has a ship, Naglfari, bound to take the sons of Muspel over the sea to fight the last war, leading to the end of the world with no victory for anyone. Muspel stands for the catastrophic. He can be seen as the counterpart or very opposite of Odin. Where Odin stands for wisdom and thought, Muspel has pure wrath and thrives on disharmony. On the card, he is seen in possession of Sleipnir, Odin's steed, indicating that he has passage and has defeated Ausgarder, even Odin himself. The presence of the card in the spread is a stark warning that someone might want harm to come to the seeker, or that some events might be unfolding that will quite deliberately and forcefully work against the seeker, looking to devastate plans and sabotage the question at hand. This energy is the reason why this is important. This is why this is important. Because again, like, remember, this is the energy where we no longer have to be put in certain situations to become strong. We no longer have to be put under pressure to rise or to shine, where we can just shine. And because of that, because we lose the dependence on the trigger, it's almost like we not take ownership of that, but it's like we can make different choices in that space. So each one of the stars in this constellation, it's like we become the personification of those things. We become the personification of many things. And so we get to bring something different to the situation. And that is the grove of Yggdrasil's, or that's the Yggdrasil energy. That's Yggdrasil energy. It's not the grove. Well, it's the grove of Yggdrasil because who we are in those different scenarios and situations and at different points in our lives, it's like that's an Yggdrasil of its own. But those different Yggdrasils make up the greater Yggdrasil of who we are. And we're one Yggdrasil in the grove of Yggdrasils that make up the all Yggdrasil, right? But it's almost an energy of substituting. And I feel like that's where Amrun comes in. And there is something here. It's like it's changing or rewriting the codex. And I said I'm not going to say that I don't know because I'm wrestling right now. Amrun. And we got the first of both of these. And it's another step back. The first of the eighth realm, the first of the seventh realm. What's up with that? Amrun. Amrun is a dark elf knowledgeable in the dark elf runes, also known as moon runes. Amrun may have had a cult following in Sweden and has been an entity mostly of folklore. Moon runes are illegible to most, a system of writing runes similar to the the Futhark alphabet, but written in such a way that they could only be read by the light of the moon. It is a secretive writing meant to stay hidden and meant for hidden messages. Some could be read by any moonlight, but it was possible to make the writing even more stealthy, only to be read on the same day of the year, according to the moon calendar, as when they were written. So the same exact moon, waxing or waning, full or new, as they were originally written under. If Almrun shows up in the spread, it indicates something of significance hidden from the seeker. The seeker is advised to know that there is something hidden from them, either by someone else or something that they once knew but have forgotten and is now of some significance. Something that you once knew or had forgotten. And again, with this Six of Cups energy about the return to self, I don't know. You said I don't know a lot today. Especially in Libra's reading. I know. I heard you say that, and then I thought about how Russ was like, why do you say that? I'm like, because I don't know, Russell, okay? Gosh, let me live my life, leave me alone. I'm kidding. So first of all, this is giving me Almbrune energy. At first, I saw all of this as unnecessary, or I saw it as cumbersome. But it's almost like now with the energy of Almrune, this is some kind of ritual or some kind of it's something that needs to be done to read this. It's something that needs to be done to know. Like all of these seemingly separate things need to be done in unison at the same time to be able to read what was intentionally hidden. And so it's almost like, honestly, it feels like there's some kind of weird cosmic, energetic, astral, universal, not chess match, but it feels like court. It feels like court. This King of Swords energy is like the lawyer, the defending lawyer or whatever, and it feels like Muspel stealing Sleipnir, thinking that Odin's been rendered immobilized. It's almost like it reaches a point where Muspel goes too far. And so what it does is it triggers something else. It triggers something that supersedes Muspel in a way. But with Elmbrun, it's like it's something that's so obscure, like some law that's so obscure, some loophole that's so obscure. It's like the conditions have to be so perfect for this to actually happen. And it's like the condition has been met. That's this energy. This is weird. It's not weird, but this is interesting. Because it's almost like the divine is an energy that will never step in unless asked or invited. But it almost feels like it's going to reach the point where divine intervention comes in. And that, like, it feels like that's this Five of Cups energy. And then the magician feels like something above or outside, something that supersedes everything. I was about to say it. If the words were literally about to leave my mouth, but I caught it. I don't know what that is. Oh, I just said it. But I don't know what this is. And so now it feels like there's been an energy it feels like this is the watcher. Like there's an energy that's been observing. And it's almost like something is going to hit critical mass and it's going to reach the point where intervention can happen. But it's almost like in order for us to grow and evolve in the ways that is for us to grow and evolve, we are to be given that opportunity. I wanted to say challenge. We are to be given that challenge and that opportunity. Because once it's done for us, when we're not in a space of having to do it ourselves, it's like we lose that opportunity to decontextualize that strength and to integrate it in us in a way that we can use it and weave it with other things that we are, to change our essence, to combine not desperate, but disparate parts of the soul and to birth new things within us through some space of internal combination of confirmations like that energy. But when it's done for us, when it's resolved for us, we don't get that. It's like if you've never faced challenge in your life, it impacts your ability to be present in the space of challenge. But anyway, that's what I got. And I did that something felt a little 14. I don't know. Ah, I said Sorry. Anyway, that was a ride. That was interesting. I hope you all have a good whatever whenever you see this, and I hope you're acting in alignment to make that what you don't wish to experience your reality. And if you don't, I don't know. Maybe something will happen that I don't even have any more water. Wow. Okay, so that's what the watchers have been watching for. Some of them, maybe. Take it as it resonates.